Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Donna Norris. I'm the Seaside Mystic, and I want to thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about how to heal wounds with deceased loved ones, be they animal or human. Sometimes there are things after a pet crosses over that we go through that coulda, woulda, shoulda. What if I'd done this differently? What if I'd done that differently? With our pets, it happens the same way with our people, who we lose. And it's not at all uncommon. Sometimes you've been estranged from the person. You haven't heard from them or talked to them in years, and still carry the wound and never really got to heal it or have closure or really make peace. And there is a way to do that even after they've crossed over. So I just want to share with you a couple of tips on what you can do to get ready, whether you hire someone like me to facilitate a mediumship reading, or you call them in and just talk to them heart to heart yourself. So first of all, if you're going to hire someone, if you're going to have a reading, I highly suggest you at least make notes of some questions you'd like to ask the key people that you want to connect with. Write their names down on paper. It may just be one person. It could be 3 or 4 or 5. But write down what you'd like to know from each person that you're kind of thinking you want to hear from. And they'll see it. If they don't see it as you're writing it, because they pop in when you think about them, they will definitely see it when they come in to speak with me or to speak with whoever your reader might be. So that's a really, really good, effective tool to make sure that you get the most out of your reading. Another thing you can do, if the wound is deep, if the grief is deep, and that can be 2 different kinds of things. Sometimes these old wounds are still very deep. Sometimes someone has recently crossed over and the wounds are very fresh. And in that case, I would suggest that you give yourself time for the grief to subside to the point where you can listen with an open heart and an open mind. When people first cross over, it takes them a little bit of time to be able to have strong communications back across the veil, back over here to us. So as much as we mediums try to raise our vibration, they're in another realm and they're trying to lower theirs so that we can connect. So it's good to have you, as the person that we're trying to relay this information to, in a position where you can think of possibilities and not just be so centered on maybe the one thing you want to hear. Okay. But you can also, in advance of a reading, write them a letter. You can do this whether you choose to have a reading or not, but you can write a letter to the person that you have the wound with and talk about what it was they did exactly, how it affected you. I mean, in all the ways. Make a list if you want to. Talk about how it has affected you over the long term, how it might still be affecting you, either positively or negatively. If what happened turned you into a more compassionate, kind, maybe strong, emotionally strong person, write that down. If you're still struggling in some other areas of your life and you feel like it's related to the wounding, write that down too. It's really important that you get that out and talk about it. You can even read the letter out loud afterward. Call them in. Think of them and call them in and read them your letter after it's done. You'd be amazed at how healing it is. The last thing I want to talk about, and this is just going to be kind of short tonight, but is pray for them. You may not be a praying person. You can just send positive energy. I'm not trying to dictate a certain belief system. I'm a universalist, and I think there's merit in everything. And we live and die on this side of the veil, and we progress on the other side of the veil according to our individual belief system. So if you're a praying person, pray for them. I personally love to pray, sending energy, and combine the two. I send love and positive energy and prayer. I also, in my prayers, if it's a wounding and I'm trying to heal it, I pray for that person to have everything that I want for myself, whether they be here or on the other side. If you pray for someone's progress and evolution after they've crossed over, you're going to be amazed at how much your own perception shifts. I was taught this tool when I was 35 years old, and I was told to pray the prayer for someone I had a really strong resentment against, someone who had abused me horribly over a period of years. And I was told to pray for that person every day for 30 days. And when it first started out, it was like, Creator God, thank you for this day. I'd like to pray for so-and-so. They need it. And that's about as far as I got. But I did it every day. And by the end of the 30 days, I will tell you that I prayed earnestly for that person. And I meant it, for their healing, for their evolution. After so many years of wishing for their judgment, that didn't help a thing. Wishing for them to get their comeuppance, vengeance, none of that helped. I was the one still hurting. I'm the only one I can do anything about, as are you. So if you want to heal, this is the way. It's one of the most powerful and effective ways I've ever been taught to let go of a resentment and let that person go, detach with love from that person. You can also use it for pets. Pets have such an unconditional love and such a high vibration. They have never once said, yeah, I'm grumpy about such and so, or I wish you would have done this and such. They have never ever said that. They always, without fail, come through like there's nothing to forgive. We came into this relationship knowing we were going to work on this and so, and by God, you did. So they are really honest. They don't really have an ego to speak of. Personality, sure, but they don't let the ego get in the way like we let ours get in the way. So I hope that helps. I hope that is something that you can perhaps use as a tool. A lot of us during the holidays have to be around people that we feel have wounded us, and maybe a little prayer for the next 30 days wouldn't hurt. If nothing else, it'll help you feel better. It will help your healing. Anyway, I hope you find that helpful. I hope you'll come and join my channel. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I'd really like it if you'd like my videos, if you'd comment on my videos. And on this one, I'd really like to ask that you give me some topics that you might like to hear more about. If you want to hear something more about animals and animal communication, let me know in the comments. If you want to know a little bit more about mediumship, if you'd like to know a little bit more about my intuitive counseling or my Reiki practice or my addiction to crystals, as you can see, that's a small sample of what's all over my house. But I'll tell you, I am bathed in the most amazing energy all the time. And no one comes to this house that doesn't remark about how calming and peaceful it is. So I can tell you with my own experience as the authority that crystal energy is something else. So I'm thinking about doing a video on, crystals to get you through the holidays, that it put in your house, carry in your pocket, whatever. If you think you'd be interested in something like that, let me know about that too. So I look forward to hearing more from you. I hope to become better acquainted with you as I get better acquainted with this recording stuff. I understand my last video came out like this tall. Sorry, I'll do better next time, I promise. Hopefully this one will come out okay. Anyway, you guys have a great evening. Have a good day, a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. See you next time. Bye for now.